This video is sponsored by the Scrapping Cottage, where cottage cuts are always blooming. Hey everyone, it's Janet, and welcome to the CottageCutz Spring and Easter Hop, Friday the 16th and 17th of March. We want you to have lots of fun and be eligible for all the prizes, so there's a few rules to follow. 1. Watch all the hop videos. 2. Comment on all the videos, including the Friday and Saturday CottageCutz videos. And then finally, subscribe to all the channels. We check, so make sure you set your profile to be visible so that we can tell that you are a subscriber and can be in the drawings. So here you see the first project I'm going to show you as part of the hop. This is very simple, uses 2 dies, a little bit of ink, and a stamp. And this will be my simplest project. We use the bunnies here from Somebody Loves You, and the chicken with eggplant, and we're using this egg right here. Now this card takes a very little time to actually put together, and I want to show you how easy this is. So I start with my A2 size card base, and those pencil dots you see there are 3 of them. That's kind of where I decided I was going to place the 3 pieces on the card. And so to create a little bit of a light background, I just took some broken china, oxide ink, and a brush, and just started applying it so that it was real light. I just wanted to give these little bunnies a place to kind of land on the card. Now here I'm applying a glue dot and a pom-pom for their tail, which I think is just so precious and cute for these little guys. And this egg is a simple 2-part egg. There's just an overlay over the base, and voila, the egg is done as well. So you can see, how quickly this is actually coming together. The next step is to stamp the sentiment, and to make this quick, I'm just stamping it right onto the card base. There's no cutouts, anything else needed. And this is cute, it just says got eggs, but you could use any sentiment like Happy Easter, Happy Spring, hello, thank you. I mean, you could put anything there. So now I'm going to set up the 3 pieces, and I just made a little bow out of embroidery thread here. Very simple, just cut the tails off, and then it's ready to be used. And then I'm using my art glitter glue to apply just flat on the card base the little cute glittered pink bunnies. And then the egg I'm putting up on a little bit of phone tape just to give it a little more dimension. And this completes my first card for you. It's cute, I think. All right, let's look at project 2. It's a little more complex, and it's this nice little wall hanging, as I call it. It's a home decor item, and it's a 5x7 artist canvas, which I purchased already covered in gesso. And what I did was masked it off into 2 sections, 1/3 and 2/3, and then painted the top section with pearlescent acrylic yellow and the bottom with pearlescent acrylic lavender. Then I used this dollar store ribbon for an accent, and I just pasted it to the back so it would stay in place. And then I started working on my wreath here. Let me show you the die I used. Fresh Spring Floral. It has the flowers and all the greenery, and it's really pretty. You can see the flowers here, and I used a little bow from my stash. These little flowers are actually fairly decent sized flowers, and I used them here, and that's from the Spring Meadow die. I also used the Spring Meadow butterflies, and they're just so pretty. They're just, silhouettes, but they really have a punch. To create the 3-dimensional version of the wreath, I cut 3 layers of the greenery in 3 different colors of green, and then I layered them up using thick glue dots that are used for dimension, and this way I could get the dimension without seeing the things that were popping it up. I cut the blessings expression phrase out twice and layered it up and added these pearls and bow, and that completes project number 2. I hope you like it. Alright, so moving on, here's project number 3, the most complex of the ones that I'm going to show you. This is a cute little photo album. It's 4.5 by 4.5. I purchased the photo album already made, but then I went ahead and embellished it with all these pretty little dies for the spring or Easter season. So here's the front, and I used several different dies to create this collage look, starting with the spring sentiment here, and then I've included this really cute watering can with all of its flowers. Then we have this cute little ladybug, which I'm pretty sure you're going to see a lot of in other people's videos perhaps, and then a little doily here. And then I added a bunch of bling like the flowers and all these gems and sequins. So turning to the first 2 pages of the book, we've got a little place here to write a message to the recipient, and there's several different dies being used. I'm going to point them out here. Of course, we have the handmade, we've got this really cute flower, the snail, the pretty doily, this is a honey applicator, and then we've got the pretty bee with his flight pattern, and you can see that I didn't secure that so you could put a picture underneath it. Page 3 and 4 has a little bit more bee-related things with the bee's nest, the branch, and the honey pot there. And again, I left a room unglued so that someone could place a picture underneath these items. And I think that's important if you're going to give an album. You got to be able to put the pictures in it, right? So here's another bee. You see it's different from the first bee, and it also has a little flight pattern. I cut out a stitched wacky circle here, and I've got an egg wagon. And the egg wagon is being hauled by Mr. Peter Rabbit. I think this die is so cute. I bet you're going to see a lot of these in our hop videos too. First, I'll show you the bow that was in my stash that I added. This is a die cut from CottageCutz that I'll show you. There's this butterfly as well, and we can't forget Miss Petunia Bunny and Mr. Peter Rabbit. So here is again just a complete look at the entire album, and because it's accordion style, it can be set out so you can see the whole thing all at once. I really thought it turned out well. So here's the different dies. Spring watering can. Then I used the greenery here to put on the spring sentiment. You could use any greenery you have. I also used the pot and the topiary back here. And I think it just added a little something on that page that I needed. And then here's the stitched alphabet for the spring sentiment, and stitched garden friends where I had the ladybug, and inside here is the flower and the snail. Very cute set. Now the butterfly I used over here. So there's lots of things you can do with that set for sure. Then the stitch sewing notions, I used the handmade. That's the only thing I used from this die set, but I wanted that there. And stitched honeybees. This is so cute with the honeybees, the honey applicator, and here's the bee's nest and the honey pot. Now let's take a look at Miss Petunia Bunny. She is so cute. And then we have Mr. Peter Rabbit. These all are spring dies, by the way. Now we have Tea Time Doily that I used here. It really is a wonderful doily. I highly recommend that for your collection. I used the nested stitch scallop square set for these mats, and I used the wacky stitched set for this circled background. And last I used the stitched doily set in the front. Now I will say these are a great bargain because they come with the little magnetic sheet. All of the nested dies do. So keep that in mind when you order these. It makes it a lot easier to keep track of them. Well, thanks for joining me today. I sure hope you enjoyed all of my projects and enjoy the hop. Have fun. Good luck. We will be giving away a $25 gift certificate, actually 2 of them at this channel. So come back and see if you won. Thanks. Bye.